Hi folks, Rory here. Welcome to the latest episode of the Team Venom Wrestling podcast. This week is going to be another From the Vault episode. I know we've done a few of these in a row, but the purpose of getting these out there is that we've done interviews with lots of big names, and it makes sense for them to be part of this podcast thing. Also, myself and my broadcast partner Connor have been a bit under the weather for the last few weeks and such. We've all had like that nasty flu type thing that's been going around, so I'm sure you've been able to hear from my voice on the last two intros. So this week's another From the Vault episode before we can properly dive into some other wrestling subject in future episodes. And I'm going to throw it over to the interview very shortly, but first I'll let you know a little bit about it, which is that it's with Double J Jeff Jarrett, 12-time world champion, and the whole time that we did this was back in 2015, and it was when he just made his return to TNA, and he brought Global Force with him as like an invading force for TNA. It's a pretty good angle at the time, and he was doing all sorts of international things at the time. I think it was around about the time when they set up that Ring Car King thing in India and other things like that. So yeah, so this was a telephone interview that I did with him. It was really awesome. I got to meet Jeff a few months later at the UK WrestleMedia Con as a result of this as well. And yeah, it's just fun. And also, from most of these things, as I'm sure you'll probably hear, I am hella nervous in most of my questions to most of these guys because I've been a wrestling fan for all my life, which is at this point is nearly 40 years. But at the time of the recording of these, I was getting used to meeting some of these guys. So, like the Bobby Lashley one, I'm incredibly nervous on. This one with Jeff Jarrett, I'm really nervous on as well. It's just one of those things that, it just happens because I was essentially chatting to some of my heroes. But anyway, without further ado, this is an interview from the Vault with Double J Jeff Jarrett. Enjoy.
Firstly, thank you for joining me for this. What can you tell us about the upcoming UK premiere of Impact on Spike and what we can expect to see?
We are so super excited. As we were talking offline, I'm in Mexico City right now, and we had a press conference yesterday formalizing the AAA working relationship. AAA is the number one promotion here in Mexico, and I was talking to some of the executives about how excited we are at Impact to be launching on Spike this Friday. Spike is widely distributed in the United Kingdom, and for Impact to be coming back on the air and reestablishing the time slot and the fan base and the replay schedule and everything that goes with it, we're very, very excited. June 19th, 2002 was our very first show at Impact, and now here we are fastly approaching our 15th year anniversary, which will be Slammiversary July 2nd out of Orlando, which will be able to be seen, on Spike. So we're excited. We really are excited. Realize this is a great opportunity, and it's a great episode, so to speak, to be kicking off. Bobby Lashley is going to be defending his title against James Storm. Neither guy is a stranger to the UK scene, and we have a knockouts title match. We have a LAX, the tag team champions, still be on the air. We have an X Division title match. So par for the course. Impact will present 4 distinct divisions and everything that goes with that. But we're just super excited to be partnering with Spike and everything that goes with it. We've got Facebook Live planned for us coming up on Friday, and all of our digital presence, whether it's at Spike UK TV or at Impact Wrestling or at Real Jeff Jarrett. I'll throw that in there. That we are definitely spreading the word. Super excited for the launch. And I just could not be more thankful and more excited and more blessed and cannot wait for Friday night for the UK fans to get a taste of Impact Wrestling once again.
Okay. Thank you very much. What surprises can we expect to see? Are there some in store? Is there going to be a potential Jeff Jarrett return or anything like that?
You know what? Stay tuned. We'll see what happens on Impact Friday night. I was asked that quite a few times yesterday at the AAA press conference. They have their biggest event of the year, Triple Mania, coming up in August. But I've enjoyed and very, very thankful. A kid from South Nashville to have the opportunity to have a 30-year professional wrestling career. But I'm enjoying this stage of my career of being the promoter and giving guys opportunities to step out and, so to speak, knock it out of the park, give them the stage to stand on. And you know, I feel like here we go again. You know, 15 years ago, there was a kid from North Georgia called A.J. Styles, and now he's the, you know, arguably the hottest wrestler on the planet. Couldn't be more happy for him. But I'm looking for the next stars to step on the stage, and the UK scene is red hot, and I'm looking forward to finding more talent out of the UK scene.
Okay. Not just with the UK scene talent and such, but we've seen a few Global Force guys re-debut on TNA recently. Are there any plans for any more Global Force guys to come to the Impact tapings?
Yes, you know, it is no secret that as my role has developed in Impact and Global Force is an organization that I'm very fond of and proud of and excited that, you know, every day, every hour, every minute that rolls along, Impact and Global Force become more one and the same, and I'm super excited to see how things develop over the next weeks and months. But as far as specific talent, stay tuned. I think the fan base will be very excited.
Okay. I mean, I've been following some of the Global Force stuff online. There's a few guys myself that I'm that we've had on a podcast before, like Jigsaw, for example, is one that's always spoke highly of yourself. And there's quite a few other guys that we've spoke to that always hold you in high regard. How does it feel being one of the guys that the wrestlers always speak highly of?
Well, I think they're crazy, to be quite honest. I don't know what the heck they're thinking about. So I always appreciate that. But you know what? At the end of the day, and this is something that I learned actually, you know, as I was just breaking in. My grandmother, Christine Jarrett, was one of my main mentors alongside my father. But, you know, she always talked about, and I can hear her voice speaking, that it's truly all about the fans. They're the ones who put, in my vernacular, they're the ones who put groceries on the table. And so if you listen to them, they're first and foremost. And when you listen to the fan base, then the Jigsaws of the world, who I got a tremendous amount of respect for, and others, the talent are the ones that drive this business. They always have been and always will be. And so, as I just stated earlier, you know, the British independent scene is red hot. There's a lot of young talent in Japan right now that's being developed. We're going to India in about a month, and they have it's an emerging market, not just in the financial world, so to speak, but also in the professional wrestling world with the great Khali and his wrestling school, and there's a lot of things developing around the world. South Africa is another hotbed that is beginning to develop. So talent is first and foremost, and I'm looking forward to, as a promoter, to giving these guys an opportunity to get on the grand stage and let them sink or swim.
Okay. You've had an incredibly storied career and won gold around the globe, including numerous world titles, including the AAA Heavyweight Championship you've won at least once before, I believe. Which title victory has meant the most to you, and why?
There's not any one. You know, the first time you win a world title, period, you know, every kid that gets in this business that buys a pair of wrestling boots or wrestling tights or steps in the ring, they're lying to themselves if they don't think in some shape, form, or fashion that I want to be a champion. You know, maybe it's an X Division champion, maybe it's a Next Gen champion, maybe it's a world or a tag team, whatever it may be. But when you reach that pinnacle of success of being a world champion, it's second to none. But then, you know, you look around different set of scenarios, and I look back on my career. I'm the longest reigning non-Mexican champion for AAA. That's something that I'm very proud of. And when I was experiencing it, I didn't realize the significance that it would have in my mindset as the years go by. But, you know, the world champion, WCW World Heavyweight Champion, the first time I won it, obviously was very special. So, you know, there's different stages of guys' careers. I remember my series of matches with Shawn Michaels very fondly, Scott Hall very fondly. Jerry Lawler in my early days, Kurt Hennig in my very early days. So I'm very thankful. You know, and as time rolled along, me and Kurt Angle had a series of matches, and at that stage of my career, I never dreamed I would be able to have those kind of matches. So I'm very thankful for the opportunities I've had.
Okay, I mean, you touched on some great rivalries there, including some that took place in TNA. Over in the UK, there's been the TNA All Access app that launched recently. What content from your own career would you encourage fans to watch?
Of my own career?
Yeah, on the TNA On Demand app.
Oh man, you know, I don't know. I'll let the fans decide that. I do know this, that over our history, there have been different eras, and there have been ups, downs, highs and lows. But at the end of the day, you know, you look back on the library, whether it's, you know, Team 3D, Christian Cage, Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, Booker T, Scott Hall, Randy Savage's last match. You know, I could go on and on. But you know, you tune in and you're going to see some of the very, very best professional wrestling that you've ever seen.
Okay. Finally, when can we expect an update on the next TNA UK tour?
That, you know, I'm doing a media tour this morning, and I don't know if this is my fifth or sixth call, but that has been one of the top questions, which I'm super excited about. But you know, in any form of business, professional wrestling no exception. You know, you crawl, then you walk, then you run. Obviously, you know, us getting on Spike T is a huge step one. So we're very excited. I would love nothing more to be announcing Wembley and Manchester and Birmingham and Glasgow and all kind of dates throughout the British scene. But that will come. I assure you that. But we got to take one step at a time, and it all starts Friday night, and it's something that I'm super excited about. This Friday, Spike TV, 9:00. British time, and I hope everyone tunes in.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. As a fan, it's been awesome talking to you. I mean, I became a fan of TNA from the Turning Point pay-per-view, which was Savage's last match, and was a big fan of yours from the WWE career as well. So thank you very much, man.
Oh well, cheers. No, I appreciate your time today, and thanks for all your help. And let's spread the word.
Okay, thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks.